Hey! Do you remember the entire thing that happened with Seraphine? The time people created a parasocial relationship with a fake character? Well, don't worry, it may be happening again. So, for those of you who don't know, Riot revealed their latest addition to their musical universe. So after Pentakill, KDA and True Damage, we got a new K-pop boy band on our hands. Which sounds fine, it's not exactly my music genre, but there is a big shadow looming over all of this. Because once again, Riot decided to use Twitter as the main source of marketing. Which is something they did in the past when they tried to promote Seraphine. And it heavily backfired. So, let's go on a trip through a memory lane and let's explain what's currently happening. Going back a few years, the main issue with Seraphine's marketing is that Riot tried to turn her into a real person. Which is not inherently wrong to do, but they did it through some very unfortunate means. First of all, it started with Riot giving Seraphine her own Twitter account, where she started posting about her own life. It would be the occasional picture of herself, maybe one from her childhood, which never existed, or a picture of her cat. It's kind of funny how in today's day and age people would have thought that this was AI. Anyway, to a certain degree, it was always obvious that it was a fake character. But then you also had some issues where Seraphine vented about her personal issues. And this is where people started hesitating. Because every now and then Seraphine started posting about her anxiety and how it affects her performance, after which she further started talking about her mental health. From a story's perspective, this would be fine. In fact, these would be very realistic emotions, especially for a musician. And when you are writing fantasy, literally anything goes. After all, these are real issues that people have. Which is where the big issue was. By venting about her mental health, Seraphine, as a fake character, would take those real issues and swipe them away as if they were nothing, all while other real people suffered from the same issues. Now at first, this may not sound that bad, but that's until you actually see what was posted. Or more than that, how it was posted. Because at the beginning, she was mostly posting relatable things. The account was supposed to turn Seraphine into a relatable character. But soon, this turned out to be the worst mistake Riot could make. Because after setting up Seraphine as a very relatable character, and after some of the fans already got connected to her, in one of her tweets, Seraphine said, okay, I don't know why I'm acting as if it was a real Seraphine who actually said it. I'm realizing that I can't do this alone and maybe I need to be the one to ask for help. So could you give me some encouraging words? I need something to believe in right now. Well, this is where the problem started spiraling out of control. Because with these posts, Seraphine started building a parasocial relationship with her fans. Which is something every creator on every platform will tell you is something horrifying. So on top of essentially making fun of mental issues, that Seraphine account also started ignoring the real problems of parasocial relationships. Now, how bad was it, you might ask? Well, let me show you some of the interactions which were archived on Scooch's channel. In one of her posts she said, I keep wondering when everyone's going to figure out that I don't actually know what I'm doing. To which people with parasocial relationships replied, be strong, to which she of course replied back. Because how dare you think she's not real? I'm feeling exactly like you and it is so frustrating. To which she replied, here's hoping we can go through this together. Together? No one truly knows what they are doing anyway. And you're following your big dreams, it's okay to be a little uncertain sometimes. Love you. To which she of course responded. Because she's a real person with real issues in need of support from all of these people. Screw everyone else who also has problems and is ignored, I guess. So yeah, some could say that this relationship with the fans was the real problem. As long as the account actually stayed in its bubble, it felt like a fictional character. But the moment she started reaching out to fans, all walls crumbled. And people got very mad and scared. Now, this was just a very TLDR version of what actually happened. Because the entire controversy got so massive, it started hitting some big headlines. And in fact, the best report on this still remains on Scooch's channel. But now you may be wondering, why am I bringing this up? Why am I talking about some extremely dangerous parasocial relationships which are being built on top of Twitter accounts? Well, it's because Riot is walking the line again. Yep, it's happening again, although this time it is a little bit better. To promote their latest musical band, Riot once again decided to use the glorious Twitter. And once again they did it through role-playing as the characters. Though this time they are trying to make sure everyone knows they are just fictional characters. For example, none of the band members have their own Twitter accounts. This time they are all talking through Riot's official music account. Does this make things any better? I don't know, you tell me after we dive into this. It all started on October the 12th, when Riot first posted an image that would confirm the existence of League's first boy band. The title simply said, "We're working on it," and the image showed their workspace. Not too different from what Seraphine used to post. But then, 4 days later, the first roleplay came out. At first, it was just a series of images that showed the band members' personal belongings. And each of the band members signed with their own letter. S is for Set, S is for Ezreal, A is for Aphelios, KS is Cassante. I still keep mentally putting the Y there because this is League of Legends. K for Kayn, and Y for Yone. These images are totally fine. It's just a bit of lore from the alternative universe. Their items show you what those characters are about, and even the way it is organized tells you about them. But in some cases, the characters are very slowly starting to feel relatable. Which is fine as long as Riot doesn't lean too heavily into this. And unfortunately, that is something they are getting very close to. Because after that, they revealed the band's faces. And they gave us their name, which would be Heartsteel, which is perhaps the most hated item of this year. Is that why they buffed it so many times? Was it all purposeful marketing? On top of that, they also gave us the link to the song which they will release during Worlds. Sounds good, right? Well, some people interacted with that tweet, and the characters interacted back. Googling how to hold hands with 6 guys at once. Big hands help. Signed, Set. I'm looking disrespectfully. To which Kayn replied, "My eyes are up here." I'm pretty sure that was not supposed to be inappropriate. I mean, his eyes are literally up there. You see, some of these interactions are certainly silly. All of these are still miles better than what Seraphine came up with. Because here, Riot is being self-aware, and they only reply to the people being silly. No mental issues, no asking for help, none of that parasocial stuff. Sounds like foreshadowing, doesn't it? So, for a while, people engaged with them for some harmless fun. Sometimes they asked them for some silly stuff. And other times, people dug out some extra lore from the alternative universe. I mean, I'm not gonna say asking for a chocolate bar is necessarily evil. And it's also awesome how Riot is giving some artists some visibility by responding to them. But the entire time, they keep walking around the line. Because literally every response still comes from one of those fake fictional characters. And sometimes those characters even show some real fake emotions. So with every response, Riot is balancing on the edge of falling into the Seraphine pitfall. But thankfully, throughout all of this, it all remained harmless. There were no mental issues in sight, though occasionally the band members bullied each other. So then, Riot's marketing did a really cool thing. They released conversations fully voice acted by the champions' voice actors. These conversations are the champions fully being in their roles, talking about how they are making their music and living their normal lives. And to go the extra step, it is all posted from Aphelios' point of view, who just screen recorded the conversations and then leaked them. Hashtag relatable. See, that's the thing. Some of these conversations are really awesome. Like, the voice actors are doing such a stellar job. And whoever wrote those scenes nailed it. It is all funny comedic skits. And the reaction from them matches it. There are people who thought this would be an awesome podcast, to which, in character, Ezreal responded. Anyway, people really like these because they can be funny, they tell you a bit of lore from the alternative musical universe, and it's all just a really cool marketing push that lets people engage with it. But everything has a healthy dose! And so, as the relatability scaled up, so did the response from the fans. It was people nerding out about the fact that Seth has plushies, which got a response from Yone. People enjoying how Aphelios was leaking the conversations, which got a response from Aphelios. And overall, it still remained relatively harmless. So whoever was managing that account, they just had to cross the line, didn't they? Now, I know that some of these people are absolutely self-aware about this, but I will still censor them because it's the internet. But all of it still feels kinda otherworldly to me. I'm in the trenches trying to get a response from Kane on Twitter. Okay, here I am. Signed, Kane. Now, I know that this one person has a healthy mind. I think. Because they are being self-aware about this. Do you think Riot would send me an influencer Heartsteel promo package with signed Kane photo and matching earrings? Or should I walk by again? Me leaving Riot headquarters with all the Heartsteel Kane shoved up my... Hey, I've only tweeted Kane's name more than anybody else on this website, hey! Just saying, Riot, if you're reading this, I know I'm a little guy, but... Okay, Riot, maybe just do what they asked for everybody's sake. But you see, even these interactions are kinda okay. It is still getting scary, but it is all just jokes. Which is something you can't say about the other ones. Crying every day until Yone says hi to me. No, don't cry. Hi. Signed, Yone. Heart. You know that Yone is a guy who was murdered by his own brother and then got resurrected by a demon. Are we sure we want to make them relatable? Birds say I will explode into bubbles if Kane doesn't respond. What bird said that? Signed, Kane. A heart. I only now realized how the color of the heart corresponds to what band members typed it out. That's kinda neat. Also, I don't like how the person posted a picture of depressed Winnie the Pooh with a loaded shotgun. Anyway, these kinds of responses are getting dangerous. And I'm not sure if Riot is aware of that. Because these prove us that the parasocial relationship problem is happening again. It is only starting, it is nothing awful yet. But if we look back to Seraphine, what can happen is still clearly visible on the horizon. So I just hope we don't end up like that again. And you know what? I'm pretty sure all of these people are in on it. And everyone understands that these characters are not real. And as long as everyone understands that, it is all just harmless fun. Right, guys? Can Kane reply to me or I'll go Delulu? I'm his biggest fan, I need him, please! Hey Kane, I've been following your solo career for a while now. What's your other half now? Crying, screaming, stabbing my monitor, Kane, respond to me! Day 2 of waiting till Aphelios will say hello to me. I can make you mooncakes if it helps, hehe. Day 2 of waiting for Kane's response. These Discord calls are everything to me. I'm loving it, and I'm very excited to see more of them. If Fel keeps ignoring my tweets, I'm gonna die, my heart is so weak, help! Guys, I'm getting scared. For all of us. But yeah, there you have it. This is the current situation with the boy band's marketing play. As I mentioned, this is still honestly a cool way to do it, as long as you are not playing into emotions. And you keep all of your responses around pure jokes. The moment you start taking a turn towards parasocial relationships, you might actually start harming people. So I hope Riot knows what they are doing here. But you know what's the funniest thing about all of this? As I went back to the Seraphine controversy to remind myself of what happened, I watched the videos that talked about it back then. And I absolutely love this one part from Scooch.
And do you want to know the final straw? How Riot is trying to cash in on this built connection by giving Seraphine an ultimate skin on release.
Dude, only $25? Times changed.